Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Your comments are always welcome. Please hit like on this video and don't forget to share. Also guys, please turn your notification bell on so you don't miss a video whenever I post. So for context, I came to Canada in August of 2021 as an international student. I did a 2-year master's program at the University of Regina in Saskatchewan. I finished my program in April 2023 because I accelerated so that I could save some money and I could start my process as soon as possible. Now, during this time or nearing this time, I started to gather documents or stuff that I needed for the process, such as the CELPIP exam. I did my medical. I started reaching out to jobs from Jamaica so that I could get my letters, because you need job letters for jobs that you have declared. So I started reaching out to these companies so that I could have everything I needed to start the process. If you want me to do a breakdown of the cost, you can let me know in the comment section down below, like the cost for the English exam, the cost for the medical, and the whole process. After finishing school in April, I decided to apply for my postgrad work permit in May. The reason for applying for my postgrad work permit is because I wanted to have time in the country in case my student visa expired before the PR process is finalized. This is to say that you do not need postgrad work permit to apply for permanent residency. I only applied for the postgrad work permit so that my stay in the country could be prolonged. So in May 2023, I got my postgrad work permit, and a month later I joined the Express Entry pool. This is free of charge. You don't have to pay to join the pool. So while in the pool, I missed the first draw by about 17 points, and the following draw took place 2 weeks later on June 27, 2023. That was when I received ITA with a score of 498 points. So my points was 498 and the draw was 496. And ITA is basically an invitation to apply. So here they're saying, hi, we want you to become a PR, basically. And guys, let me tell you, I am so grateful. While in the pool, I was going to decline ITA because of some complications in the process that I later overcame. But I'm so glad that I didn't decline, because every draw since that draw has been 500 or more. 540, 530, 550 is just 500 plus. So I'm so glad that I actually applied, or I actually accepted the invitation, because I would still be in the pool up to today's date, because my score was just 498. Now, when you accept the ITA, you have 60 days to submit all the documents that you declared on the application. So for example, all the jobs that you declared, you have to submit your job letters for them. You have to also submit your medical. You have to submit your English exam. As a matter of fact, you can't join the pool without the English exam, because you have to declare how much you got on the English exam in the initial state. I did the CELPIP exam, so I didn't do the IELTS, I did the CELPIP. So I ended up submitting my final document, I think about a week before the 60 days expired, because I was waiting for my bank statement from the bank. I had everything uploaded, but I couldn't submit because I was missing the bank statement, and this is mandatory. So what I did, I had an old bank statement from my study permit application, so I uploaded that, and I wrote a letter of explanation explaining that this is the account information, this is still me. However, I showed a printout so they could see the amount of money that I now have. I just uploaded the old bank statement because it contained the official bank letter. It was an official bank statement, and that's what they wanted. But I only had the printout, so I submitted both. And I also submitted my bank statement here in Canada. And I wrote a letter explaining that I applied for the bank statement, but it's taking some time because of some complications of me being outside of the country, yada yada yada. As soon as I got the bank statement, I uploaded it. I think it was like 2 weeks later or a week later, I got the bank statement and I uploaded it using web form. So guys, bear in mind that once you submit your application, you can no longer edit the information. So when you receive ITA, you can go in and edit or modify your application, but the moment you click submit, whatever you send off, that stands. If there's anything that you need to change, you have to do it via web form. Once you click submit, that's when you are expected to pay the fees, the application fee, the biometrics fee, and other fees. We had to redo the biometrics. So we did our biometrics 2 years ago for the study permit application. You know the biometrics last for 10 years. We had to redo our biometrics because of a recent update, I think in June or one of those months, where it states that even if you have an active biometrics, you still have to redo your biometrics for PR application. So our biometrics was for temporary residents. We had to redo it for PR. Each of us paid $85 to do the biometrics. They sent us a link via email for us to click on, fill out some simple information, and then we used our card to pay using the link. It was updated, I think, the next day or a few hours later. I don't want to confuse anybody with the fees and the whole breakdown of the money, but I'm still gonna mention that for the application process, each of us, meaning me and my husband, we paid $850, and as I explained in my previous video, I paid $230 for my child because I don't know where I went wrong in the application or what I did, but it was asking for a fee for him. So we paid the $230, but we should not have paid it because he's a citizen. Anyway, I was later reimbursed that fee. I think I got it like 2 weeks ago. Then there is an additional $515 per person, so $515 for me, $515 for my husband, for the right of permanent residence fee. And if you have a child, they don't have to pay this, whether they're a citizen or not. Once they're under 18, they don't pay the right of permanent residence fee. Only adults pay this fee. So after paying the fees and submitting the application, here comes patience. This is where patience comes in. You have to wait and wait and wait and wait to hear about your application. This is where the anxiety kicks in because you don't know if after waiting so long, you're gonna get a yay or a nay. So, everything starts to come down on you at this point. And especially in my case, I was so anxious because y'all know my baby was in Jamaica. I needed to go for him. And I didn't want to leave the country and then the application is processed and then I'm locked out of the country. So I was so anxious. But anyway, I risked it and I ended up getting the ECOPR the following day of returning to Canada. So I was very lucky. So guys, 1 month after submitting my application, on September 22, 2023, I got confirmation of permanent residency. So basically this is saying, usually when you get this, it's a very rare case that they turn back and say, oh, something is wrong with your application, you're no longer a PR, or we need to review this. So once you get this email, it's something positive. Like you can look forward to becoming, or you can basically say that you are a permanent resident. So when I got this email, it is via like their email. So they emailed it to me. It's not where you submitted your application. It is via regular email. So you have to watch out for your email that you put on the application and make sure that there's no mistake in it. So in this email, you basically confirm your personal information like your full name, email, date of the last time you entered Canada, including flag polling. So we did flag polling for our postgrad work permit. We had to declare that date. So on our permanent residency card, that is the day we last entered Canada. You also have to declare if you are currently inside or outside of Canada, because if you're inside Canada, the process is kind of different than if you are outside. And they want to know where to send your PR card to later on in the process. So you have to make sure that if you're inside, you put that you're inside. If you're outside, state the truth. So after submitting this information, I had to do it for both me and my husband because it's a joint application. So they asked if I want to fill out his information or if I want him to fill out his, and I just fill out everything and I sent it off. About 2 days later, you will get some credentials for a new portal. So you're no longer using the cic.gc, commonly known as the GC key login. You are using a new interface. This is what you will be paying attention to going forward. So it's no longer that platform. It's a totally new platform that they will send you the information to create a username and a password for. And this is referred to as the application status tracker account. So you can basically say that things are becoming official, right? After doing this, it is now time to wait for your ECOPR, or as I call it, EcoPR. This is now time to wait. If you think you waited earlier, this is the real wait. Like, I don't know why this part of the process takes so much time, but I was in a group, well, I'm still in a group on Facebook, and every single day people rant. Every single day people talk about the whole wait time, anxiety, stress, people having to travel. Like, this part of the process is definitely the hardest part in terms of waiting. You have to wait. I don't know why it takes so long for them to just verify, but it takes some time. And this part is also crucial because it is winding down to you getting PR confirmation, or the ECOPR. And the moment you get ECOPR, this will cancel all your visas. So while you can leave the country, you won't be able to return without your PR card. So if you have any emergency, you have to either contact IRCC for them to work something out for you, or you just wait. Or if you have a US visa, you can also take the US route and then walk over, do the border crossing thing. So guys, this ECOPR took 2 months and a week to process. 2 months and a week before I got the ECOPR. That part took the bulk of the application, but you kind of have an idea that you are a PR the moment you got the PR confirmation email. But like I said, this part is necessary for travel, and just to finalize the whole process. It took 2 months and a week. And during this time, I've been contacting IRCC via email, via web form, phone, every means possible I used to contact them. They kept saying, wait, everybody is waiting. So I explained that I had to leave the country, and that's when they gave me the option of putting the application on pause, or I could, do the whole US border crossing thing. So anyway, you guys, I left the country in faith, and a day after returning, I was still in transit because of how the flight was set up. It took me 2 days to get to Saskatchewan. So I was actually in, I think, Calgary when I saw an email that this is the ECOPR, it's ready to be downloaded. I was like, what? And when I was coming back to Jamaica at the airport, they didn't want to allow me to travel because my visa was expiring in a week. So they're saying you have to have 30 days in your visa. Luckily, I work at the airport, and I was like, no, that's not true. So anyway, they got their supervisor, and the supervisor said, yeah, she can travel, blah, blah, blah. So I was lucky because if they didn't allow me to travel, I would have got EcoPR in Jamaica, and then I would have to go to the US, and it would have cost me a lot of money, but it's an option. But I'm glad it was a simpler route of coming back to Canada as planned. Now, after getting this document, it is now time to submit your photo for your PR card. A lot of people, including myself, I thought that I needed a professional to take the photo because that's what I read online, and I was proactive, so I did everything in advance. So I paid to have the photo taken and everything, and the photo was rejected 3 times. The first 2 photos were taken by Walmart. They were rejected. Then, my husband is into photography. He did the 3rd one, and it was rejected. And then I was so frustrated because his photo was okay from the first one was rejected, the second one was okay, so his went through, and then my third one got rejected. So I was like, nah, I'm over this. I sent a web form and I explained that I don't know why it's being rejected. I tried everything, they didn't respond. So I said, you know what, let me just go and take a selfie, because of the same group that I'm in, somebody once said that they took a selfie and it worked. But I was skeptical because I'm saying online it says that it should be taken by a professional with the back of the photo filled out and stamped and whatnot. But they didn't ask for the back of the photo, so it's not necessary. So I just went in my bathroom, stood behind the door, and I took the selfie, and it was accepted. It was accepted. I was so happy that it's finally accepted, and I'm glad that that photo was accepted, because the other two photos I was going through a rough patch, so I was looking crazy in those photos. But the fourth one wasn't so bad, so I'm glad that that one was accepted. And this was in December of 2023, like about December 23rd or December 28th, I think. I don't remember, but it was like the last part of December. After finally getting the photo accepted, it was sent off and I got the PR card in January. So my husband got his PR card before me. I got my PR card 1 month later, but we both became PR the same time according to the ECO PR. So that's how I became PR, just over 2 years after being in Canada and a few months after finishing school. I've said a mouthful, so I'll just be summarizing the whole process so that you can understand a little bit clearer. So, before joining the pool, you're gonna need the English exam that is valid for 2 years. So you want to make sure that you do it quite well in advance, but not too much in advance where you have to redo it, because maybe it's nerve-wracking. It's not as simple as you think. So if you don't want to be redoing, make sure you do it at a point where it's gonna last while you're in the pool. You mainly have the IELTS and the CELPIP. You have other exams, but those are the two main ones. And I did the CELPIP because it's more common where I am located. It can be very expensive, guys, so make sure you're saving for the whole process. You're also gonna need proof of funds, and this is according to your family size. Based on what I read online, you should have this before applying. Not while you're in the pool, you're gathering your funds. You need to have your funds before applying, according to what I've heard. Like I said, it's according to your family size, whether or not they're coming to Canada with you. Family size meaning your immediate family, like your kids, your spouse. It doesn't matter if they're coming with you or not. Once they are part of your family, you have to declare them like your immediate family. So in my case, it's me, my husband, and my child. I had to show proof of funds for 3 of us, even though he is citizen of Canada. Like I said, if you need a breakdown of all the funds, I can do that in another video, because I don't want this one to be too long and I don't want to confuse anybody with numbers. Upon joining the pool, this is when you start gathering your documents, like your police report. And on a matter of the police report, I used the expired police report that I did for my study permit application 2 years prior, because you can use your expired police report once you have not returned to the country that you got it from. So in my case, I didn't go back to Jamaica until after submitting my PR application, so it was okay to use the expired police report. I also lived in France. You have to submit police report for countries that you live in 6 months or more. I was living in France, so I had to apply for a police report from France, which was pretty easy. It was online and it took like 3 days to come in the mail. You also need your medical, and when I say medical, it has to be from a panel that IRCC authorized, so you can't just go to a random doctor and ask for a medical. You have to do it at specific institutions. You will also need job letters to prove your financial capabilities. You will need your education evaluated if you studied outside of Canada. If you studied in Canada, then you don't need to evaluate it. I did not evaluate my bachelor's degree. I only used my master's degrees because it's the highest level of education that I have. and that gave me more points. And I got it in Canada, so there was no need to have it evaluated. I just asked the school to give me the transcript and completion letter, and I submitted both. My husband has a sibling in Canada, so we were able to get points. Even though I was the main applicant, we were able to get points there. And the sibling has to be 18 or older, PR holder, or a citizen. You need from them their PR card, proof of address, and birth certificate to prove the relationship, or affidavit of support, something that will state that this is actually your sibling. You need to get these in time in case your score is drawn and you receive ITA, because you'll have 60 days to submit all these documents. So once you get ITA, you start to submit all these documents once they're not expired. So like your English exam, once it's not expired, once everything is up to date. I think they say your documents should be 6 months or less, like not more than 6 months. I don't know if it's true. I just follow that. My documents were under 6 months. So like my job letter was like about 5 months after getting it, I submitted it. So try to get your documents like under 6 months so you don't have to go through the hassle of resubmitting anything. Then once you submit your documents, you pay your fees. And I already stated how much you will pay according to the fees for a family of 2. Then you wait for the PR confirmation via email. You follow the instruction and respond to the email. And then after that, it's time to wait for your ECO PR. After getting that, it is time to submit your photo for your PR card. After getting your PR card, that's it. You are officially, you have been officially a permanent resident the moment you got Eco PR, but the whole thing is over after getting your PR card. So that is the whole process. I hope it is clear enough for you, and I hope that I didn't leave off anything. If you think that I didn't clarify anything, you can let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Also, drop a like on this video, guys. Please share the video and turn your post notification bell on. Bye.